I'm very fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time at the Daytona International Speedway, and I've seen all kinds of motor vehicles there from the wide variety of events they hold throughout the year. One of my favorites is the relatively new Daytona Classic 24, which is all about vintage race cars. I really like the older cars, and it is so cool to watch them out on the track. Just look at this selection of cars that is just one of the groups that raced in the recent 2015 Daytona Classic 24. Watching these cars going around the track being driven as they were meant to be is what it's all about for me, and I really enjoy getting to see, hear, and photograph them. There was this amazing 1986 Porsche 962. Next to it was a Ford Mustang Cobra from 1985, which I bet is a blast to drive. And next to that was this Audi R8, of which I'll be doing another real versus sim video of in the near future. How cool is it to be able to see such a race car up so close? And there was plenty more to see as I roamed the garage. One of my favorite cars to sim race is the Porsche RS Spider, and there it was, parked right next to another racing legend, the Rothmans Porsche 962. I also saw the Chevron B16 from 1971, which I believe was featured in the movie Le Mans starring Steve McQueen. Next to it was this Ferrari 365 GTB4 Comp, also known as the Daytona. It was nice to see a Ferrari in something else in red, and this car was a beast on the track. There was some American muscle too, like this Mustang and a Greenwood Corvette. This 73 BMW CSL was very cool, and so was everything else in the garage that weekend. One car that escaped me in the garage but caught my eye on the track was this Mercedes 190E, which just happens to currently be one of my favorite cars to race in the sim racing game Project Cars. While the black car at Daytona isn't exactly like the one I race in Project Cars, I think it is close enough to warrant a real versus sim video. While I didn't see much of the real one at Daytona, as it must have been tucked away somewhere between the two haulers or something, I have driven the heck out of the one in the racing sim. Before we get to that part of the video, I want to show you a few quick shots of my race rig. I built it myself for sim racing. I'll be putting together a full video just on building the race rig, but for now here are a few essentials to bring you up to speed. Starting with an old office chair, I built the stand from wood for a comfortable racing position. I'm using the Thrustmaster TX wheel with the 599XX EVO wheel, which was certainly worth the upgrade. I've got the TH8A gearbox shifter, which I can change from gated to sequential for even more realism, and I added a Sparco shift knob, well, just because it looks so darn cool. Down below I have the T3PA Pro 3-pedal set, which is another definite improvement over the stock pedals that comes with the TX wheel. My favorite add-on is the butt kicker mounted under my seat. It is a transducer that vibrates to low frequencies in the racing sim, which I feel in the chair. The engine revs, I feel it. The gear shifts, I feel it. Go a little off the track onto the curbs, I feel it. Go way off into the gravel trap, and I feel that too. For me, the butt kicker adds just about as much realism as the sound does, and I highly recommend getting one. I'll be driving the Mercedes 190E in Project Cars on the Xbox One console. I like to set up about a 15-lap quick race with the Mercedes, and I set the AI strength at 70%. I'm using a stock tune and driving with no assists. My favorite track for this kind of race is the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, and as you're about to see, I'll have my hands full. To save time, I'm going to start the clip with a few laps already into the race. I always end up on the inside of them here coming down this front stretch that I have to back off, get that better angle in the turn, end up going too wide. Usually end up in the gravel over there, but get past doing it. Sliding into the turn here. But I'm pretty good coming off the corner, so I can make a pass here, get him on the inside. But I'm not the right angle for this turn, I have to go out wide. I felt the curbs right there because of the butt kicker. This turn's too wide. It's kind of a weird turn. You should take it earlier, but I always mess it up. And you don't really catch them on the straightaway with the stock tune. And this turn you can hold some speed up, hit the curb right there, bounce me around. That's what I really like about this, is you feel the curbs, the car's bouncing. You just feel like you're driving a car, and it's a handful. Come around this sweeping section. If you do it right, it's almost one long sweeping turn. Again, not making really any headway on the straightaway here. This turn I stink at too. I end up going wide, kind of like that guy, end up in the gravel. But I catch him coming down this front stretch, but there's really no room to get the angle on the turn. Got to back off, get the right angle, and I got it pretty good that time. Coming into this turn's another good passing place for me. I tried to diamond it that time, didn't quite make it, but I get enough off the turn to make the pass. Get this one right, you can do pretty good. Mixed it again, got bumped a little on the curb again. Butt kicker's working. This turn, got a little bit better angle going in. Helps coming down the straightaway. Bad turn, you're going to lose them. Good angle on this and hold it off the curb again. You can see the wheel jerks from the force feedback. Kind of got to wait for him to settle it out. I can't force anything here. Got that turn pretty good. Another decent turn, didn't lose anything. If I get this one good, I'll get a good head of steam coming down the front stretch. Might be able to get a couple cars. This guy went low this time. Would have tried to get on the outside of him, but on the inside again, it's the wrong entry to this. So I'm having to turn a little bit harder. Oh, full slide there. It's really cool how the steering wheel in the game is directly corresponds to your hand input. That AI guy just passed two of us. These guys don't mess around. Got him on the inside. A little bit better on that turn. See how the car moves around going down the straightaway. You just feel like you're in it. Stayed off the curb that time, got a pretty good turn. I should make a little progress coming in here. That curve right there, felt it. Got a good run on the guy in front of me, made a pass. Pretty good on that turn. And headed down the straight. So that's a few laps around Brands Hatch in the Mercedes 190E in project cars. One of my favorite combinations, and for me at least, every time I race it, it's a challenge. I'll be making a lot more videos like this as I combine my real-world experience with many incredible cars and the fun I have driving them in racing sims. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on the upcoming videos from my Real vs. Sim series.